Hello students. Now in today's lecture we are going to see another topic, that is project management techniques. Okay. To handle the any civil engineering project or to manage the project, we need to know the different techniques required to manage that project. Okay. So what are these different techniques? We will see one by one the different techniques and how will you implement on that project. Now, project management deals with various processes from the project inception stage, that is means starting of your project, till the completion or maintenance of your project. Okay. So in this process, from starting phase to end phase, we have to deal with various processes. Okay, and we have to manage that processes. That is nothing but your project management. In the preliminary stage of the project, which is also known as a project formulation stage. Okay, means starting phase of your project, that is formulation stage. How will you formulate your project? Then next stage is project planning. We'll do the planning. Then we'll do the scheduling of your project. Okay, and these are plays the important role in project management technique. Okay, means your inception, that is formation stage of your project, then planning stage of your project, and scheduling stage of project. And the next part is coming is your tracking of your whole project. Okay, this chapter will learn, understand fundamental techniques of project planning, by which using first one is your, these are the different techniques: Gantt chart, that is also called as a bar chart, Gantt chart, or bar chart. Okay, both are same. The Gantt is the scientist who developed this chart, so that is called as a Gantt chart, or it is also known as a bar chart. Then milestone chart, it is upgradation of Gantt chart. Okay, then line of balance method or line of balance technique, which is used for a repetitive type of work. Then critical path method. Okay, uh, the project which have a deterministic approach, in where we can use the critical path method, and where there is not a deterministic approach, means where the in project where the probabilistic approach is there, means research type of projects. Okay, which has not definitely start time or end time, that type of project we are going to use the technique, that is PERT, program evaluation and review technique. Okay, so these are the different project management techniques. We will see one by one. Now in today's lecture, we'll see what do you mean by Gantt chart or bar chart. Okay. Introduction. Now first we'll see the introduction of project management. Modern projects are becoming complex in nature, involving share of the most of these resources and interdependencies. Okay. So every modern project is becoming complex due to number of resources are increased, number of activities are increased, and different activities have interdependencies, both are dependent on each other. Okay, and due to that, projects are becoming complex, more and more complex day by day. Okay, best use of available of resources to complete the project in time and within budgetary limit depends upon the project planning and scheduling of the project. Okay, now the main part or main point in project management is that any project you have to complete that project within your time. Okay, within this specified time. Suppose you are giving 1 year for your project, then within 1 year you have to complete, anyhow you have to complete your project. Okay, and second main part is you have to complete your project on a given budgetary limits. Okay, suppose budget of your project is 1 crore, then you have to complete your project within that 1 crore. Okay, don't spend extra money on that. Okay, so these are the main your key points. Okay, we have to focus on these key points, and that is a success when it will come in success when you have proper planning and scheduling of your project. Okay, so this is nothing but your project management. Logical sequencing of all activities. Okay, if you have any project, you have enlist the different activities, n number of activities in your project, and if you have listed the different activities, there should be a logical sequence between the activities, means after which activity next activity will be, then next activity will be, or after this activity will happen. Okay, so there should be a logical sequence between the all activities. Then allocation of resources, on every activity you have to allocate the resources, correct required resources for that activity. Then consideration of various project constraints, what are the constraints in your project, then logical relation between the task, then proper coordination between the various stakeholders and agencies appointed on the project. Okay, then cash flow management is also important in your project. uh, Clash flow management, etc., plays a major role in a project success. Okay, failure of timely delivery of services, goods by any of the agencies will cripple the activity of other agencies or can even stop the entire project. Okay, if there is a not timely delivery of your goods or services from any agencies, suppose material supplier is not providing material on time. Okay, so that project total, that will affect on total entire project. Without that material you cannot proceed one activity, and on that one activity there are n number of activities are depend. Okay, if that activity stop, then whole project will stop. Okay, so timely delivery is most important. A close coordination is therefore necessary between the all agencies. In all agencies there should be a close coordination. In case of the failure of one, pre-planned alternative routes are to be chosen or a new ways are to be found out in such a way that other activities may continue to minimize the impact. Okay, so you have to plan accordingly. It is rather a great challenge to the project management team to properly plan and schedule a project. Okay, now you see project planning and scheduling. What do you mean by project planning and what do you mean by project scheduling? Modern project planning and scheduling techniques are made us of by managers to effectively control the project. Okay, planning involves identification of activities, then grouping of that activities. First you have to identify the activity, then you have to group them. Okay, then logically connected them and allocate the resources. You have to connect activities logically after which activity will happen. Okay, and how much gap should be there. Okay, all that logical relation you have to maintain and allocate the resources on that activity. Next one is your scheduling. On the other hand, deals with the time order in which these activities are take place. Okay, what are the activities you are enlisted, you have logically sequenced. Okay, on each activity there should be a time limit. Okay, means suppose for example concreting activity, concreting of foundation. Okay, so for concreting of foundation you require 10 days, 20 days. Okay, that days is nothing but your scheduling. Okay, scheduling is on the other hand deals with the time order in which these activities are take place, in how much time or within that time that activity should be placed. In addition to assign the dates of the project activities, project scheduling is intended to match the resources of equipment, then materials and labors with the project work task over the time. Okay, good scheduling can eliminate the problems due to production of bottlenecks, then facilitates timely procurement of necessary materials and ensure a seamless completion of a project. In contrast, poor scheduling can result in considerable of waste as the labors and equipment wait for the availability of need of resources or completion of a preceding task over allocation, etc. These are the uh, points for a poor scheduling. Okay, a perfect planning and scheduling of a project requires detailed drawings, then correct estimate and specifications of each work. Right? What required for a perfect planning and scheduling? You require detailed drawings of your project, then correct estimate means how much quantity you are required. Okay, then specifications of each work. What is the specification for concrete? What is the specification for brickwork? Okay, how will you do that work? All the detailed specifications that should be with you. Then and then only you can do the perfect planning and scheduling. If it is therefore necessary to prepare a flawless tender document that can give a clear picture of work to be carried out. Okay, drawings need to be freeze before start of the project. Okay, drawing should not be revised again and again. That should be freeze. Okay, once your drawing is fixed, then it is very easy to do a perfect planning for your project. Okay, if your drawings are revised again and again, okay, there are always changes in drawings. Then if there are changes in drawings, then there is a changes in estimation. Okay, then there may be changes in specifications. Okay, so drawings are changed, estimation is changes, specifications are changing, then you cannot do a proper planning. Okay, so drawing should be fixed or fixed before the start of the project. It is a common experience on many of the projects that even after a lot of exercise on a project, planning and scheduling, very few projects follow the program exactly as chalked out earlier. Okay, It is basically due to the unforeseen reasons and lack of proper groundwork and feasibility study of a project. With the help of the right information, selection of the best technology, and correct planning, hurdles in a time and cost overrun can be minimized. Being a good project manager, one has to always focus upon the project target while planning. Okay. Now, project scheduling serves following purposes. What are the purposes for a project scheduling? We'll see. First, it simplifies the project plan that can easily be understood by all concerned to take a necessary action. Okay. Next, it validates the time objectives by verifying the deadlines imposed. Okay. Next, project delays can be tackled by suitable corrective actions plan to speed up the work. Then it acts as a tool to prioritize activities and helps identify critical activities to be focused upon. Okay, on which activity you have to focus more. That critical activities we will identify in this scheduling. Okay, it serves basic of a project monitoring and tracking. We can monitor the project, track the project. Okay, it optimizes the resources employed and helps to level them by working on floats. Okay, by scheduling we will get the different types of floats. Floats means your free time available for your doing the next activity or a project. Okay, and by using that float we will optimize the maximum resources. Okay, then it also helps to identify input resources and predicts the output. You can predict the output. Then it identifies scheduling constraints and enables to plan the work within the frame of these constraints. Okay, so these are the serves or purposes of a project scheduling. Whatever the techniques is adopted for the presentation of a project planning and scheduling, graphical representation is found to be more useful. Okay, if you are representing the project plan and schedule on a graph, okay, that is more understandable and you can easily represent your project. Okay, following are the most widely used techniques of a project scheduling involve the graphical representation. First one is your bar chart. Okay, then Gantt chart, bar chart or Gantt chart. I already told that is the same. And next updated version is your milestone chart. Next one is your line of balance technique, which is used for repetitive type of work. Next one is a critical path method, that is CPM. Next one is your preceding networks. There are types of networks, that is one is preceding network. Next, program evaluation and review technique, that is PERT technique. Okay, so in construction management we have to see all these techniques. Now first techniques we are going to see, that is bar chart or Gantt chart. Now we'll see what is a bar chart or Gantt chart. Bar chart is a graphical representation of a project plan on a time scale. Okay, there is a time scale. I will show you what is that time scale. We have to represent graphically your project on that time scale. These charts are developed by Henry L. Gantt. Okay, so it is also called as a Gantt chart. The scientist Henry L. Gantt during the World War First, and accordingly these are also sometimes referred as a Gantt chart. Okay, x-axis of a chart represents the project duration, and y-axis of a chart represents the and on y-axis we will plot the bars of your project. Okay, and that bars are in the form of rectangles. Length of bar shows the duration of activity. Okay, name of the activity can be written inside of the bar or nearby the bar. I will show you one example. Okay, these charts are helpful useful tool for analyzing the project plan and are easy to understand. Okay, now Gantt charts helps to plan out the activities by maintaining their relationship. You can develop the relationship between the different activities in graphical way. Give a basis of scheduling the project. Okay, it gives the base to the how to schedule the project. Then permit allocation of resources. Okay, and help to work out the critical path. The timeline on x-axis must always have specified unit of a time designed such as a days, weeks, etc. Okay, we can on x-axis there is a timeline, and that timeline is designated as a in terms of days. Okay, you can give it in terms of days, then you can give in terms of weeks. If there is a very small project, then you can designate it in terms of hours also. Okay, clarity designing the units of the bar charts are very important. Use of weeks for a project duration does not typically refers to a calendar weeks of a 7 days, but 6 days working days. Okay, Monday to Saturday, Sunday is holiday. Okay, so for a project, the week is of 6 day, not a 7 day. Activity on y-axis are typically listed in order of earliest start of the project. A bar chart representation of a illustrated example of a construction of a boundary of a wall in UCR masonry. There is one example. I will see a bar chart representation of that example. Okay, so it is the construction of a boundary wall of a UCR masonry. We have to construct a boundary wall of a in a UCR masonry, uncoasted rubber masonry. Okay, now it is output of MS project. Okay, how the bar chart of this activity will be, this project will be done. We'll see activities are first listed out vertically in a logical sequence of execution. Okay, the project is construction of a boundary wall in UCR masonry. Okay, so the first point is you have to enlist the different activities required to complete that project. Okay, now what are the different activities? See, here are activity number 1 2 3, description of activities. Okay, now first activity is your line out of your compound wall before construction of a boundary wall. Okay, you have to construct a compound wall, right, on a boundary. Means for that first you have to do the line out for a compound wall. Okay, and suppose we will take the duration required for that activity is 3 days. Okay, next one is your excavation. Second activity is your excavation. We enlisted the activity, whatever the line out we have done, we have to excavate that. Duration required is 5 days. Okay, then next, this is based on your experience and how much work is there. Okay, laying of PCC. Next activity is laying of PCC. Next activity is UCR masonry in 2 layers. Okay, then after that you have to do the backfilling, then racking and pointing, then coping, then fixing of gate, painting and side cleaning. Okay, these are the number of activities required to complete that project. Okay, now we have enlisted that activities. Okay, tentative duration is calculated based on the estimated quantity of each activity and assuming duplication of available resources. Okay, we have calculated the tentative durations required for a that activity based on the based on your estimation. Okay, means uh, how much quantity required for excavation, how much is the PCC, how much is the UCR masonry, and depending on the number of labors you have available for that. Okay, based on that we have calculated these durations. Okay, so this is the totally based on the your experience. Duration is considered in a days. Okay, all the durations are considered in a day. Now, bar chart you can draw on a graph paper also. You can do it manually or you can do it on Excel or you can do it in MS Project software also. Okay, the time scale is shown on x-axis, that is topmost row. Okay, the length of each bars gives the duration. So these are the first activities we have enlisted. Okay, and we have logically sequenced them. Means your first activity is your line out. Okay, after line out there should not be your site cleaning or painting. Okay, unless and until you can complete your compound work. Okay, you cannot do fixing of gate and painting. Okay, so there is a logical sequence between all activities. Means after line out there should be a excavation, after excavation there should be a laying of PCC, after PCC there should be UCR machinery, then backfilling. We have enlisted first the activity and we have logically sequenced them. Okay, and these are the durations. Okay, if you add all the durations, total number of durations required is 37 days. Means we have to complete that project in 37 days, where we have considered that every relation is your end to start relationship. Okay, means first activity when end, then and then only second activity will start. Okay, so that relation is called as a end to start relation. Okay, but when you plot this on MS project or on a graph, you will get to know that you can reduce that duration 37 days. Okay, you can reduce that duration. How you will reduce that duration, that we will see. Okay, now suppose, so this is the bar chart. Let's see, it can be seen from that figure that project start on 11th July 2011. Means what, your first activity start on 11th July 2011 with the activity number 1 line out and supposed to get completed at the end of 3 days. Okay, means that activity will end at the 3 days. After finishing of that line out activity, excavation second activity will start. Okay, on fourth fourth day. Okay, means third day that will take for a completion of first activity, then fourth day, and that will take 5 days to complete. Okay, we have already plotted the durations: 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Okay, 3 days, 5 days, 2 days. Okay, like that. Okay, now we'll go on a chart. You will clearly understand. So this is, see here, x-axis is a time scale. See, this is the x-axis which has a time scale in terms of days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, Sunday is your holiday. Okay, so it is in terms of days. And on y-axis there are number of activities with a bar. Okay, we have represent every activity in terms of bar. Okay, so for a, so this is the first activity line out. It requires 3 days. Okay, means on 11 July activity start, that will complete on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, that will complete on a Wednesday. Okay, after that your next activity will start on a Tuesday. After completion of line out, your next activity will start, that is excursion. It will require 5 days. Okay, now see here, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, Sunday is your holiday. Okay, that we will not consider. Okay, means these 3 days, this is holiday. Then again Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so that requires 5 days. And while looking in a batch, it shows that it requires 6 days, but it is 5 days. Okay, 6 day is including your Sunday. Okay, like that we have completed all the activities. After this activity will complete. Okay, so if you maintain the relation of end to start activity, means after first activity line out end, second activity will start. Okay, if you maintain this relation you will require 37 days. Okay, but here you will require 33 days. How it is possible? There is relation between some activities, you can do that activity simultaneously. Okay, so you can reduce that days. Means, see here, UCR machinery it required 12 days. Okay, after PCC UCR machinery start, it will end on a Friday. Okay, okay, but after that UCR machinery there is one activity, backfilling. Okay, so you can do this activity simultaneously, backfilling. Okay, you will not wait for a completion of UCR machinery. Okay, you can do this activity simultaneously. Okay, so the backfilling is done simultaneously, means that will end on a UCR machinery, time of a UCR machinery. Okay, so this is the end-to-end relation between these two activities. Okay, so after that, here one day you have reduced. Okay, after backfilling, next activity started, racking and pointing. Okay, racking and pointing completed, and here also coping. Coping activities also you can do done simultaneously with racking and pointing. Okay, racking and pointing means what? जे काही दगड्स असणार तुमचे विचार मिशनरीचे, त्याचं जे काही मॉर्टर असणार आहे त्याला काय करायचं तुम्हाला, त्याला त्या मॉर्टरला पॉइंटिंग करायचंय. बरोबर. सो ती डिझाईन असते तुमच्या जॉईंटला. ओके, तर दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज अ रॅकिंग अँड जॉईंटिंग. आणि कोपिंग म्हणजे काय? तुमची जी काही कंपाऊंड वॉल असेल वरची, बरोबर, त्याला कॉन्क्रीटने तुम्ही काय करता, एक स्लोप देता. दॅट इज नथिंग बट युअर कोपिंग. सो बोथ these activities you can done simultaneously, right? So here also you have maintained the end to end relationship between these activities. Okay, here you have reduced again 3 days, right? So here 3 days, here one day, then again next activities are from end to start relationship. Okay, so here your project will complete. Okay, so 3 plus 1, that is 4 days, you have reduced means from 37 days your project will complete in a 33 days. Like that you can complete, and this is the graphical representation, and it is easily understood after which activity will end, which activity will start. Okay, what is the relation between different activities, everything will be cleared in bar chart. Okay, so this is the one graphical representation of a bar chart. You have to do the bar chart. Sometimes they asked you in exam that do the bar chart. Okay, so this is the graphical representation. You can so this is the updated bar chart. Okay, you can update it bar chart. Updated bar chart means what? Actual execution of project. All activities will not happen on a exact time. Okay, suppose your project is started. See here, I will show again updated bar chart. Okay, same. First activity requires 3 days. Line out. It completed on a time. Okay. Second activity required 5 days. Okay, but instead of 5 days, there is a delay of your project. Okay, instead of 5 days, you require 6 days. Means your activity will delay by 1 day. Okay, so this is first line is your original line, that is planned. Second one is your actual, while actual or actual working condition. Okay, first activity line out is completed on a time, this is scheduled, and this is the actual. Okay, second activity excavation, that is scheduled, but this is the actual. In actual, the project is delayed by 1 day. Okay, so in graphical representation you will clearly note that here your project is delayed by 1 day to in excavation phase. Okay, next one is your PCC. Now PCC will start after the end of excavation, but now the case is that here excavation is completed, no. Okay, excavation is delayed, then next activity your PCC also delayed. Okay, so see here, this activity is also delayed. Okay, like that. This is the updated chart. Next, UCR machinery, this is the scheduled activity. Okay, top line is your scheduled activity, but and see here, this is the actual activity. We have completed the user machinery till here. Okay, then there is a activity hold, we have hold the project. Why we have hold the project? Suppose there are some problems, labors are not coming. Okay, so user machinery, that activity is hold. Okay, but backfilling you can do. Backfilling activity is here. Okay, you can do that backfilling activity, right? Simultaneously you can do that backfilling activity. Means first, while doing the your compound work, first you are doing excavation, then PCC, then first you are doing the UCR masonry in bottom, that is at a foundation level. Okay, so you can complete backfilling activity. Okay, if this activity is hold, you can complete this activity also. Okay, next one is your racking and pointing. Okay, so these are activities also done simultaneously. This is the schedule and this is the actual. After completion of UCR machinery, you can also complete racking and pointing simultaneously. Okay, so like that you have, these are the actual bar chart and your schedule bar chart. This is the tracking of your project. Okay, then before, on the schedule, according to schedule, our project will complete on the 15th of August. Okay, but in actual our project is complete on 22 of August. Okay, so this is the delay of project. So it is clearly get to know from the bar chart. So it is the very good for a understanding. Okay, now multiple bar charts gives the following information at a glance. Okay, whatever I have told, that is all, everything is mentioned here. Multiple bar charts use the following information at a glance. Merits of bar charts, what are the advantages of bar charts, the date of actual starting and finishing of individual activity against the proposed dates, we will get to know that. Okay, then period by which activity is ahead of the schedule or behind. Okay, means which activity is ahead of schedule or which activity is behind of schedule. Okay, that you will also get to know. Then time period of completion of each activity and hence entire project, when the project will complete, that we will get to know. Then delay, if any, if is there any delay, then how much delay will be required to complete that project, that we also get to know. So these are the advantages of your bar chart. Then there are some disadvantages. First, it does not clearly show the dependencies between various activities. Okay, clearly we cannot get to know the dependencies between various activities. Okay, it does not show critical task needing special attention. Okay, which task is critical and on which task we have to give the special attention, that will not get in this graphical representation. It is very complicated to work on a bar charts for a big projects. It is good for a small type of projects. Okay, but for a big type of projects, the bar charts are becoming very critical. Okay, and that requires very huge graph. Okay, so that is not possible to plot huge graph for a big projects. Okay, because there are n number of activities in thousands and 2000s or uh, activities are there, so you cannot plot the all the bar charts and all. So this is not possible for a big type of project. Updating bar chart is hectic and tedious job. Every time you cannot update the bar chart, so it becomes tedious or tedious job. It requires redrawing of a multiple task bar chart and schedules. Okay, so this is also one disadvantage. Next one is where for planning purpose, bar charts are not useful since they do not indicate the precedence relationship amongst the activity. Okay, they can show only the relation between the one activity and next to that activity, but there is relation between different activities. Okay, there are n number of activities and every activity has a relation between some another 4 5 6 activities. Okay, so that cannot be maintained here. Okay, so this is also one disadvantage. Because of these limitations, there are some advanced techniques like a CPM and PERT. Okay, that these limitations we can overcome on a critical path method and PERT. Okay, in critical path method we will get to know the which activity is critical and on which activity you have to give the more focus. Okay, there is a network, a logical sequence and network between each activity. You will get to know the relation between different activities in CPM. Okay, so these are the updated version that we'll see. Okay, with this we'll stop here. Next lecture we'll see milestone chart. Thank you.